Okay, for those of you who don't know, we're currently at the other most wonderful time of the year when, traditionally speaking, on this channel I tend to do something a little strange. Why? Because I guess I've got to. You know full well I have a history with being a professional tarot reader, and as such, I'm curious about the strange and the unusual. Now, you can think what you like about all this subject, but you're here for a reason. You too are curious. You too want to know things. You might think all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff, but maybe you're too chicken to actually do anything weird. So, I have to do it for you. Bottom line is, happy Halloween everybody, and we're going to get busy. Let me just give you a quick reminder and rundown as to what it is you're about to witness or experience or perceive here, because I think it's important to get the disclaimer in place first and foremost. Otherwise, things could be bad, and I don't want things to be bad for you or for anyone really. There's an awful lot which we don't know in the world. That's just the way that things are. And there are some things which I personally regard as being natural, which some people don't regard as being natural. Are you with me? There are some things which I've experienced, which I assume are part and parcel of nature, which other people don't think are a part and parcel of nature. So what we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be doing here, is to perform essentially a form of experiment or stroke demonstration of one of those things which I regard to be natural, but difficult and challenging, and is what you would also consider to be unscientific, because it relates to the issue of human consciousness. It relates to the experience of being a conscious entity, and using consciousness itself, for want of a better phrase, as a tool of divination. We assume that things such as consciousness outside the body is real, because we objectively attempt to do things like astral projection experiences, and we have them occasionally. And from that, we then assume that there are other consciousnesses in the outer world as well. And from that, we then make another assumption that there is a way of using your own consciousness to interact with them. Which is obviously quite a difficult thing to explain. Obviously, if you haven't actually experienced any of this stuff before, you're either going to be like intensely skeptical, or you're going to spend a lot of your time like listening to someone else who says this, that, and the other is true, and therefore you'll be objectively listening to them and thinking, oh my god, this, that, and the other must be true because they said so. Can we try and take like a more of a middle ground attitude here? Okay, an open, inquiring mind applied to what could hypothetically be natural, but we still don't properly know. What I'll actually be doing is something which is traditionally called a Ouija board séance. I've got my board set up. There has been, so it appears, something which is like a form of consciousness which has been trying to communicate with me for a while, who goes by the name of Amy. I don't know what she's going to try and say to me today, and we'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to use the board, and if something comes up, great. If it doesn't, then I guess it doesn't. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm as just like in the dark as you are. But this is the kind of fun that we tend to have, or that is traditional for people to have at about this time of the year. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask her to come. I'm going to ask her to see if she's got any messages. It will be spelled out on the board using the ideomotor effect. Okay, ideo meaning an idea, basically, and motor meaning the subconscious mind reacting somehow to it, either because I feel there is an instinctive move to move the planchette in a particular direction, so therefore I'm pushing it in that direction, not quite sure what's going to happen, but I'm doing it anyway, or because it appears to be happening almost by itself underneath my fingertips. Are you with me? Okay. And then we'll just see what happens. If you've never done a Ouija board experience before yourself or with your friends, then get a board. Just do it. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them on eBay. There may even be some shops, made out of bricks and things, which you could even walk into, and you can possibly buy one there. There's all kinds of different designs and styles for your own personal, shtick, or wherever it is you are in your personal development at the moment in terms of what you think is right and wrong spiritually or whatever. But that's for you. I personally don't think that using the word witchcraft is all that helpful. Okay? I don't think it's necessarily all that helpful. I think that if something is natural, it is natural. And long after I'm physically dead, there will be scientists, I believe, who will look at this stuff and think, yeah, there's some stuff going on there which we could use. I mean, there's organisations like the Radionic Association in the UK that's using similar forces of intention and dowsing and all that kind of stuff. So it's already to a certain extent rather out there, okay, in the world. But just not necessarily in the world of all the people that you know socially, if you get my drift. Right? So, here we go. I'm doing this for fun, okay? It's like for me, it's like going to safari park, okay? Seeing all the wild animals and stuff, a bit like that, like Jurassic Park experience. It's like, oh my God, Diplodocus, whatever. That's what it's like for me, because I'm going into the natural world to attempt to communicate with entities which are natural. So let's get on with the séance, because that's what you're here for. Okay, guys and girls, welcome back to Halloween. As I said, we've spoken with Amy before, and she was coming out with some very, I would say, depressed energy, sad, saying she was crying. But I didn't actually quite know why. I didn't know what was going on there. So let's just see, what's gonna happen. I don't know. Amy, are you there? Hey. Why? That's the person I'm inquiring about, but are you there? Yes. Can you tell me where in the room you are? LEF. T. Left of the room. Is that left in front of me or behind? Okay, let's try that again. Is it behind me? No. So your left in front of me? Yes. When I last spoke to you, you're expressing some negativity, some bad emotions, thoughts and feelings. Are you feeling any better now? Are you feeling any better now? Can you hear me? Have we still got connection? S. T. Goodbye. Sorry, Amy, are you still here? Are you still here? Yes. Okay, well, I'm glad to have you back. Now, what is going wrong with you? S. T. O. P. T. H. E. Stop the. Can I ask stop the what? Is there something you want me to stop? Is there something you want me to stop for you? Is there something else out there which is causing you distress? O. T. H. E. R. S. Stop the others. Are these people who you knew in life? No. Is this something you're experiencing now, when conscious and outside of the body? Yes. Is there a name which I would understand? or which the people of this country would understand in my language, for what is disturbing you. E. L. E. M. E. N. T. Element. Are you disturbed by the elemental stones I put in front of the board? No. So you're not referring to them? In my language there's a concept called an elemental, which would be possibly an aggressive, non-human consciousness, which is non-physical. Is that what you're referring to? Yes. Can you describe it to us? What's it like? D. A. R. K. N. E. S. Darkness. Would you say this entity is male or female? Definite strong male energy. So you're being threatened and challenged somehow by a dark energy which is male. It's an elemental, it's non-human. Yes. Am I personally at risk from this elemental? Amy, am I personally at risk from this elemental? Sometimes no answer can be more frightening than actually having an answer. Am I at risk from this elemental? What would you like me to do about it? Goodbye. Come on, Amy. Is there anything I can actually do about it for you? No. There must be something. No. That's a bit of a stubborn response. I don't believe that there is something which I cannot be doing for you. L I G H T E A C H lights each N I G H T light each night. Do you mean like lighting a candle? Yes. Light each night. Is there a particular time when you'd like me to stop lighting candles every night? Why? You? L? Do you mean midwinter? Do you mean Christmas time? Yes. If I was to do that, light a candle every night until Yule, being the 21st of December, would that do it? Would that help to keep it away? Yes. Okay, I promise I'll do that for you. Now you know that someone's doing something for you energetically. Are you feeling comfortable? Are you feeling happy? Yes. Okay, Amy, thank you very much for talking with me today. We'll speak again soon, yeah? Oh. Okay. Okay, well, this is the stage in the experience when we kind of like try and work out what happened there. Uh, I mean, the first time that I did a session and this entity or whatever it was called Amy came through, it felt much more emotional. It felt much more intense. It felt much more afraid, miserable. There was this feeling in the air of there being something foreboding going on. So that's one of the reasons why I was rather anxious about doing this session today. However, it wasn't really like that in terms of the feelings I got. The emotions I got was much more straight, direct, to the point. I thought it was quite curious that Amy did not start by just saying yes when I asked if she was there. Instead, she gave her name. Initially, I did think that maybe that wasn't her talking to me, and it was just something else mirroring what I'd said. But I, after a while, started to feel that it was probably Amy, and I asked her where she was standing, and that gave some kind of feeling of connection to, what could be considered to be a presence in the room. Then we asked more questions, and she seemed to want to go away. She didn't seem to want to stay around and talk. It wasn't like the first time when there was this like intense emotion on her side of things and a need to try and express herself. It's more a question of like, I don't want to talk to you. And Planchette carried on wanting to go to the goodbye on the board, and that's never happened to me before. But it just wanted to like, no, I'll deal with this myself. You can go away. You go away. And then we got her to open up, and she spoke about essentially her being a ghost who's being haunted by another entity, which she identified as something which had a male energy to it, but was non-human. Okay, so it's almost like there's like a bad vibration in the place, or a bad vibration around her, which is doing her some kind of harm, which can't have been a pleasant experience. But there's also this feeling on her side of things of a level of strength of character, though. Because if she was basically saying, no, I'll deal with it by myself, no, there's nothing you can do. That shows that she thought that she could handle it, doesn't it, really? But in the end, she was actually or seemed to be quite grateful to have some variety of, positive, loving energy work delivered to her to try and help her out with this situation, in the form of a candle burning every night from now until Yuletide, which might be enough to try and dispel the darkness. I used to know this family of witches in another town, and I used to visit them regularly. And after every Christmas, between sort of like Christmas, basically Yuletide, and the sort of spring equinox, they would periodically light a candle in the window for the purposes of helping the sun up. Alright, because this was their belief that they were putting some positive energy into the experience of the season, so that, good could come up, lights could come up, so to speak, whether this was allegorically to do with energy or prayer or intention or good luck or hope for the future, or whether they actually did believe that, the actual lighting of a candle would physically give the sun that extra push towards longer days. It's hard to say. I didn't actually go into their thinking too much, but I'm kind of like drawing a parallel between what Amy seemed to be suggesting that I do, or indeed that we all do, of trying to bring that extra bit of light and positive intention in through lighting a candle from now, every night, until midwinter, and doing it maybe for her, and maybe you could do it for yourself, for your situations, for the energy in your life, and trying to bring some positivity into your own life path. I mean, that's up to you. But it seems like that kind of intention and that kind of action with intention seems to do something from what she was saying in her world. Just something to think about. And I wish you all a very happy Halloween and a very happy journey from your Summer's End Festival right on to Yuletide. Bye for now.